What's good, family, and welcome to Enjoy the Journey. I am your host, Devontae Lamont, and today I have with me Davon Smith, who is a great actor, and he is here to give us pieces of his journey as he is doing great things right here in the city of Atlanta. What's good, brother?
What's happening? What's happening?
How are you?
Great,
Thank
amazing.
you. Thank you so much for being here. So we were talking, and you are an Atlanta native.
Yes.
Tell me, what is it like? I always ask people from Atlanta because, one, I'm not from here, but people from Atlanta just have this different work ethic, this different just drive to themselves. What has it been like being an Atlanta native for you?
I mean, it's just like, it's home. So it's like I just grew up a certain way. How you grow up also plays into like, like certain things you do and the way you maneuver. It's been, I love Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And, like being from like Marietta, around a certain area, it's like you grow up fast in certain ways.
Yeah.
And like, how to navigate certain things once you do get older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't really, have it any other way if I had to do it over, honestly.
I love that. So you are an amazing actor. I've been following up on you and literally researching you, and I love just what you represent as an actor. What got you into wanting to do film?
So around like May, actually I remember the exact date.
Exactly.
So May 8th, 2024, my friend Jeff called me. He said, "Hey, I'm doing this little small short film with the media company called Gold Strand Media. Wow. We would love for you to come through. One of the actors dropped out. We need one." I'm like, "I don't do no acting, man. I've never been on camera, nothing like that." He said, "Just come through, with something small." So I'll say, "Okay, cool, I'm gonna do it." I go there, we do it. A couple people there that are established in the industry, they pulled me to the side after. They're like, "Hey, you're a really good actor. How long you been acting?" Wow. I was today. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, "You have really good natural like talent. If you want to take it seriously, you get some training. I think it could do something for you." So I started acting May 9th, 2002, that day.
That's amazing, because I think when we think of the giftings that we have, a lot of people, that if something, here's what I'm gonna say: if something is natural to you,
yeah,
I think it is a gift given from God, and yes. I think the fact that you found that May 8th, 2024. And we're going into 2026, and to see that you've done successful projects,
yes.
that speaks a lot of who you are and what you represent to the community, that when you find that gift and you exercise it, the doors will open for you. How has this season of doors opening in different films and projects been for you?
It's been amazing. Obviously, when I first started off, that was like to kind of like, just getting my feet wet, trying to navigate myself. But this year has been like my building process. This one our project really start rolling in where I'm getting paid now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that really surprised me, because I'm a year in. I'm like, people really willing to pay me to do this?
Mm-hmm.
Know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's not crazy money.
Listen, crazy on the way.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, cool, but it's like just anything. I'm like, that is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's just been so amazing. Like you say, it's because like, look, I thank God every day that I actually, something told me, just go. I wasn't gonna go. I'm like, just go do the little acting thing for your friend, look out, do that. But I was actually there for a different reason. I feel like that I was there to find some type of purpose, you know what I mean? Because I was in the area to where I didn't really know where else to go at the time. Because around that time I had left college. So I basically like took like a whole year off of college, depression, kind of because my grandmother had passed like the year before.
Wow.
So it was a lot going on. So when I heard acting, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it, because my grandmother always told me growing up that you should act, you should model, you should do this, you could do that. And I just hate that I started doing certain things after she passed.
Wow.
Because everything I did after she passed, I was amazing in doing, just like she said I would have been. So now I'm like, okay, I got to start listening to that voice more. What I mean? It's like, it was God talking through her. I just didn't listen. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
Wow.
I'm too cool for that. I want to do that. But it's all along, like, it's something I've always been doing, because from my younger years, I heard, like, I always, I always imitate Martin, watching Martin a lot, and Bernie Mac, my favorite Bernie Mac show. Like, I just
Bernie.
always imitate Bernie Mac, Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
That was
that's my favorite.
You know
I
what I
love
mean?
Eddie.
That was the first older film I watched was Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes.
And that's when I had like, oh, Eddie Murphy, like that's my guy. It's Bernie Mac and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
So it's like I always just do things like that, but I never thought anything of it. I never had the idea. I don't have the story of, oh, as a kid, I always do. So I grew up. I just, I was always pushed up. I was too cool. I'm trying to play basketball.
I'm trying to play basketball.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, but we are grateful that you listen to Grandma, and you are honoring her legacy by you stepping into who you've called to be. And not only do you act, and we're going to get into some of his films that he's done work in. I'm telling you, in just a short amount of time, God has really blessed you. But you also write.
Yes. Yes.
This is amazing to me. And so you tell me about how you got the idea to write, because the film Without Sin,
Yes.
Which we're going to talk about, that you play a lawyer, you actually wrote that script.
Yes.
Tell me, how did you get into writing?
I've always been a writer.
Wow.
I started off writing poems when I was like 7. And when I went on, to college, we used to always have like a thing where they put in the newspaper where you could submit your poem and, win like poem of the week, whatever. I always won. Like it just always
Always been a good
writer.
writer.
Always been a good. I've never been a bad writer. So this is the first time I've written a script.
Yeah.
Which is different from writing, poems.
So okay, true. What is the big difference between writing any piece of work, a book, a poem, or whatever? What is it? What is that big shift in writing as a writer for a film?
Really, it's writing characters, because in a poem you're just writing about one thing usually, or a number of things. Characters are a little bit different because you got to grab the essence of each character, and they all have to be just a little bit different or a lot different, and you got to figure out what you're going to want that to be as a writer. Now, the biggest similarity is that it's still all poetry. It's still all the dance.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it is. Everyone's essence is still the flow to it. Just like in the poem, just like in the stanzas, it's all got a boom, 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 boom. It's all tempo. So like when you're watching a film, it's like different feels to it. If different films give you different feels, you're not going to get the same feel that you might get in Mission Impossible that you may get in, like, a more slower type film like Love Jones or something like that. Mission Impossible, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Love Jones, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it's a flow. It's
you
a
know what I'm
rhythm.
saying? So
Yeah.
that's like the biggest similarity. It's like the poetry of it, and that's why I love it so much.
That is beautiful. And what I just heard from that was you've always had creative gifts, but knowing how to expand them.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that is freaking amazing. And I think it is a powerful gift that us creatives have, where we can take one gift and expand it into something greater.
Yes.
So you wrote the film Without Sin. Tell us about that film.
So this film, I wrote this film because I feel like certain issues I've never seen tackled within the film realm, especially not independently. So with this film, it has to do with a young woman named Aaliyah Monroe, who she basically comes forth and is brave about saying that a powerful director sexually assaulted her. Now, she's an actress. Her career could be over.
Yeah.
Everything could be done. So it speaks to the fact of, no matter like who you are, where you are in your life or whatever, be brave and speak up, even with the cost of you losing everything. You know what I'm saying? And the basis of that film is basically everyone there. We talk celebrity worship because the big director, everyone loves him. Everyone knows him. Yeah. But no one's ever actually met him. They just know what they see on social media. So when he's there, everyone on his side. So it also tackles, there's a scripture in the Bible, a story in the Bible where, the God basically says, he who cast the first stone, must be without sin. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or he without sin cast the first stone. So that's why the name is Without Sin, because everyone throwing stones at her, everyone is judging her, but no one is without sin. We all have things. So it tackles that part. It tackles celebrity worship. And, my character is a character that really hits on that, because that's a real prominent thing in real life. We don't actually know these people. So to say that they didn't do a certain thing, or that they did do a certain thing, and you don't know them, and there's no other evidence pointing towards that, I feel like that's kind of wrong.
Wow.
And we see certain shades of that now with what's going on now.
Yeah.
I don't have to say it.
Yep.
We all, you know what I'm saying? We all
You're
know.
right. We know.
You know, so like it just kind of like the right time to speak on certain things, really.
Ooh, I love that. Now, so I want to go so many places here. I love what you just said because it speaks to what's going on in this time. When you were writing the film, was it writing towards the time? Was it writing toward the character, or was it writing towards a message?
It was writing towards a message. And the message is that redemption is not for the perfect, it's for the brave. No matter who you are, everyone can be brave and everyone can, you know, be redeemed, and everyone can like come forth and say a certain thing. And like I feel like that the message is very important for young women, older women, whatever man, if something was done onto you, I feel like speak to that. Because I think a lot of times we hold our breath for years and years because we don't have enough. We're afraid of things shattering beneath us, but at the end of the day, truth is what's going to hold us up.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that I've only been, you know, on this earth for 25 years, but I've seen that there's a certain thing that always happened.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write a film about it just because I can.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? Just, why not? You know what I'm saying?
I love that. I love that. So your character in Without Sin plays the lawyer in this situation. Tell me about the character.
So he is a former activist turned lawyer, and he always wants to tackle wrongdoings and the fact that celebrity worship is a very big problem, because he deals with bigger cases usually, and it's always dealing with celebrities. And most of the time he see cases get lost or they get a lot of sentences because of who they are and the power that they hold over the people, because then again, the jury members, they're just people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in this case, this guy's a big director. Oh, we love his movies. My kid love his movies. How can I send this man away? And I love everything that he does. I don't believe it. He's a perfect guy. And my character is like, no, you actually don't know who this person is whatsoever. You never met him. You never had a conversation with him. You just know about the face he puts on when he's on the screen.
Wow.
And that could be anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what type of character my character was. But it's based around like it's three lawyers in the film. Miles Truitt plays a defendant. He's defending the director. Hassani, I believe.
Hassani vibes.
Yep. Hassani, he plays a defendant too.
Yeah.
Alongside Miles, and I play a prosecutor alongside Aspen Kennedy.
Nice.
So, and also the biggest, well, not the biggest, but one of the bigger messages is I start seeing independently in Black Hollywood that we always made a certain type of film, independently speaking, crime dramas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to see black men as lawyers.
Wow.
And I want to see black men defending this black woman as she's coming up and speaking up on certain things. I wanted to play a lawyer. I realized that independently speaking, while I'm in this realm of trying to, you know, move up the ranks, there aren't many roles written for what I want to do. So I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put myself and these guys in this position to be this thing that I know that may not get written out here in Atlanta, at least.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And that's a real hard thing to say because I live here, but I know it's a lot of crime dramas rolling around. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do something just a little bit different. Because, you know, we have reasonable doubt. We have things like that. But I'm like, I want to see young black men as lawyers, and I want to really highlight that.
I think that's so powerful because you're changing the narrative of what is presented to the audience, and especially in this day, and not specifically with like this Gen Z or the whatever generation is coming up now. There is so much put in front of them to where they don't see positivity. And I don't see myself as a lawyer. I don't see myself as a doctor because we don't have representation on screen. And I love that you are literally taking the initiative to make sure that you put black men in powerful roles because it's not as seen as much as it really should be. With that being part of your mission and your destiny, what message do you want to send to young black boys in the community about whatever their current affair is? What is the message if you want to give a black boy hope? What would that be?
The message I would give a black boy or young man is the simple fact that you can literally be anything that you want to be. just because you may not be represented doesn't mean you can't be that thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? You always, like, there's always opportunity to become the first of your family or something like that. You don't have to always follow whatever traditional thing that you may fall into. Like me, I was, you know, big on sports. I feel like it was sports or nothing. A lot of black young men feel like it's sports or nothing. And also a lot of black young men are trapped in the mindset of, I am basketball or football. So once that's over, then what?
Yeah.
Once I quit, I was in that space. I quit basketball. I was in that space of, I don't know who I am. I had to find other skills. And as a 22-year-old man, when I stopped playing basketball, that's a very hard thing to do because I'm a grown man. And I had no idea who I was outside of sports. So that's what I would tell you black young men is learn who you are. You're not basketball. You're not football. You're not, you know, you're not rap. Learn who you are as a person inside. Learn the gifts that you have because you can be artistic, you can be creative, you may have a knack for business, but you don't know these things because you haven't took the time to explore them. Thing is, they're always right in front of your face. Gotta put it right in front of your face.
Yeah.
I've always, like, I would watch movies and things like that. I always had a fire inside. Oh, that's nice. I want to be on the screen. I want to do that. But I'm like, no, I'm playing ball. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I want to write something like this. I want to do something like that. I'm playing ball. I'm not even trying to do all that. You will push a lot of things off, and you will try to make your own way when God has plans right there.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Now, as you try to navigate through your own journey, God is going to keep throwing those plans in front of you. Boom. Boom, I was just stepping over it, stepping over it, until one day I stopped, pick up the book, and it says God's plan. I'm like, okay, this I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna do that now. So,
snaps in that one. That is so powerful. And with your career, you've done so many different things, but you were also on TV1's Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Tell me about that experience.
That was like a reenactment type show.
Nice.
And it was cool for me to do it like at the beginning of this year because like, that was the first time I had been on TV, and like it was a lot of stuff going on. Like them cameras was like so big, and like I say, for me, acting started in 2024. I never had been in front of a camera that big up to that point. So through that time, it was a lot going on in May, period, right? Because I had got that gig in May. I graduated college in May, came back home, got arrested. So I spent the night in jail because my license was suspended.
Listen,
you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Get your license straight out there, listen, because they will pull you over in Georgia.
Man, look,
All right.
I had no clue it was suspended.
Yep.
They told me, yeah, man, you know, your license been suspended since October 2022. I'm like,
my God. Wait, you was riding dirty for 2 years?
2 years. Driving
My
dirty.
God.
So I'm like, what? So, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
So, yeah, they threw me in jail, you know what I mean? I was there for 13 hours. And then right after that, you know, I had rented a car out, drove out there to Tennessee to do Fatal Attraction. Right after that, that's when I had got the film Police Protection.
Wow.
And it was a lot going. That was all in May. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot.
What the odds of you film Police Protection? I'm sorry, it's so funny. I'm laughing because I've been there. Listen, that happened to me one time. I didn't know my license was suspended. This is 2022.
Yeah.
Listen, in South Carolina, and they put me in that jail, and I was in there, I think, like 6 hours. I'm telling you, y'all, jail is not the place to be. That 6 hours, I cried, I acted out. Listen.
I tell you what though, being in there was something else that hit me being in there, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a deeper message because I saw a lot of guys in there, just, you know, I'm hearing conversations. And they were trapped in a certain mindset of this is fine and that's okay. Oh, man, you in here for what? Oh, man, you good, man. You'll be out, man. I've been in here about 7 years. Man, nothing to me. And I'm like, why is that mindset okay?
Yeah.
No, I done been here 7 times, man. You know, this ain't nothing this time. And I'm like, there's a lot of people in here trapped mentally. Not just black men, but it's just like men, period. Like, I'm pretty sure the women too, but I wasn't over there with them. I'm over there with men. It's like, we're trapped mentally to think that this is okay and then moving a certain way is fine. I'm in there and I'm like, I'm not scared, you know what I mean? But I'm in there like, hold on. I need to get up out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to go home, like, cause I seen the food they gave us. I'm like, oh no,
Listen, I'm gonna be fasting. I ain't
man,
none
you
of that.
feel me? So I'm like, but hearing them talking, like, it was really making me sad, cause I'm like, they don't know, like, there's another way out. Like, there's not. You gotta do this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
you know what breaks my heart too? I had a similar experience when I was in jail. And I remember because I observe everything when I'm in a space. I was observing the same thing you said, the mindset of the men that were there. It was almost like walking zombies, and it was almost like a sense of these men had no more hope.
Yeah.
These men had no drive, and it was almost like people were desensitized to their current circumstance. And I've always had a fear just of being in that mental space, period. And to see it was an eye opener for me. And I have such a big heart now for people who are incarcerated. I don't even think I've ever shared this because I know the mental torment that puts on you and the isolation that it puts on you to where you can't even see your way. And one thing that I want to encourage to those, and like I said, I've never done this, but to those who are incarcerated, to those who maybe have been incarcerated, that your life does not end there. That you still have a purpose, you have a pulse, and once you take the lessons that you had to learn in that season, God will then reroute you to then be able to live out your purpose as you continue to change. But don't let that desensitized mindset overtake you. You still have a purpose, and if you have a pulse, you still have a plan on this earth, and God has a plan for you. Had to share that.
Exactly.
Back to you. I'm sorry. And one thing about Enjoy the Journey, we reach so many different people, and so I love that we can take these moments to be encouraging to people. So let's talk about it. A dream role that you may have, because you are literally fresh in the industry. You're taking the acting industry by force. What is a dream role you have?
A dream role I have is a timepiece, and pretty much any timepiece, but something that's meaningful and speaks to who we are as a people. That I really want to do things like that to get to that point, because I've always enjoyed those type of films, because like like speaking through film, like it's like an echo. You know what I'm saying? Because when you watch it, if you don't know something about a certain thing, it'll really speak to you if you see it on film. Because a lot of times you might not sit down and do research, but you might watch a movie you enjoy. You know what I mean? With a good actor in there, or one of your favorite actors. So it's like I really want to do like a timepiece type of role. That's really like the main thing I want to do, honestly.
What is the biggest thing that you've learned on your journey since May 2024? What is one of the biggest lessons you've learned as an actor?
The biggest lesson I've learned as an actor so far, it had to be, I watched an interview with Clifton Powell, and he said, just know what you're going to do. When you get asked a certain question, asked to do a certain thing, or presented with a certain thing, just know what you're going to do. That's one. Two, it came from my mentor, George Lott. He straight up told me, like, like, if roles aren't created for you, do them yourself. And I got like certain ideas from him, like, cause like he does certain stuff like that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do it myself. I'm not, finna wait for nobody. You know what I'm saying? Because like no one's coming out here to save you, no matter how much they might act like it. And nobody, really out here, just give you no handout, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to really put in that work and do things that you feel like need to be done for yourself. Because if you aren't willing to do it for yourself, then why you expect somebody else to? You know what I'm saying?
That's so good.
So it's like, it's just certain things like that I'm, like trying to live by as far as acting goes, because I feel like those things are like the biggest lessons to me and about, how I move and how I navigate in the industry.
Wow. I love that. So I got like two more things for you, and then we're going to go into the down. So, we see all the great things that you're doing. But this is a special moment, because this is always the moment where I tell somebody to talk to that camera and tell them, whatever you feel led in your heart. But I want to make sure that I first acknowledge you and your gift that You are one, talking to you has been very inspiring to see that just in how a short amount of time you've been able to excel in an industry. And I believe that that's going to give people hope, because a lot of people believe that, oh, it takes years and years, but I believe that if it is meant for you, the moment you step into it, the industry's yours, and that is what you've proven to us.
Yeah.
So I want to say thank you for your yes and for everything that you're doing in the industry. But as we close the show, if you could look at that camera and give one piece of advice to someone who may look at your life as an encouragement, what would you tell them?
I would tell you that in a world full of hopeless minds, be the beacon of hope to try to inspire them to gain that hope back. There's a lot of people out here that's lost. They feel like there's nothing left for them at all whatsoever because the things that they used to do, they stopped doing. And have them understand that there's plenty of other things out here to do for you that will also build that fire in you, because you may be alive, but sometimes you may not be living. And have them understand that. And also on top of that, if you have any gift or anything that any family member or whoever is telling you to do, please utilize that while they're on that earth. One of my biggest mistakes is that I didn't start doing things until my grandma got sick and she couldn't go to certain events. And then I didn't start doing other things until she passed. And I will always live with that regret. And I'm telling you right now, it's like a bittersweet moment every time I get booked for a role, or every time I do anything, every time I progress. It's a bittersweet moment because I've always remembered that when my grandma was here, I could have been doing those things for her and while she was here, and she could have been here right by my side, but she's not. And I always have to live with that because I didn't listen to her when she told me I could do certain things. Always believe in yourself, keep faith, make mistakes, live, and learn.
Wow. This was so powerful. Thank you so much for coming today.
For sure.
I've enjoyed this conversation. And please also tell them, where can they follow you on social media?
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram at the Davon Smith, Davon Smith. That's the only social I have is on Instagram.
Listen, that's where I'm going in 2026, but we'll get there. All right, y'all. This has been a great time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts on this episode. This was a lot of wisdom. Until next time, peace out.